Right, deep breath. Firstly, are you okay?
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're looking at the most controversial moments from the past year of British television.
I can pretend to be nice for a little bit of time, you know, at the beginning of a relationship, pretending to be nice. I'm quite nice, I nod a lot.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Nella Rose versus Fred Sirius. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. You may have thought that Nigel Farage going down under for an absurdly steep £1.5 million pay packet was the most controversial thing on this year's I'm a Celebrity, but you'd be wrong.
I could be your dad.
No, my dad was way older than you.
Yeah, but I could still be your dad.
Nah, I don't think so.
Bizarrely, that took a back seat to an unusual row between Nella Rose and Fred Sirius. Fred made a remark that he was old enough to be Nella's father, which upset Nella, as she just lost her father in 2020, something she and Fred had talked about.
To me, I don't care how you said it, to me that's disrespectful, and I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to be around you.
But the public got involved, finding tweets from Nella dating back to 2019 that used the same phrase. Just 2 days later, and the pair had made up though.
First of all, I am sorry I've offended you.
Okay.
I am unaware that you felt offended. I am unaware that what I said, would lead to this conversation. I only said that in a way because I am older than you.
ADHD Panorama.
On Panorama, we investigate the private clinics diagnosing ADHD online.
There were a few controversies surrounding Panorama in 2023, but the most notable was this investigation into private ADHD clinics. A journalist wanted to see how easy it was to get an ADHD diagnosis and prescription through private doctors, and it turned out to be very easy indeed.
The clinic diagnosed her with ADHD after a 40-minute chat online, and she's been prescribed powerful drugs.
But people with ADHD and ADHD charities were quick to criticise, saying that if the NHS was better equipped to diagnose people, they wouldn't have to resort to private clinics at all.
Well, here's the results. Your results are highly consistent with ADHD.
They were also worried that the documentary would add yet another barrier to people with ADHD getting life-changing medical treatment. Williams sues Britain's Got Talent. Britain's Got Talent. Back in 2022, David Williams was unceremoniously sacked from Britain's Got Talent when a recording of him making cruel remarks about a contestant was leaked.
The comedian is seeking significant damages from production company Fremantle following the decision to drop him from the ITV show in November last year.
But in 2023, he decided that he was going to sue the production company behind Britain's Got Talent for allegedly breaking data protection laws by making the recording at all, and then leaking it.
In one instance, he called an elderly performer the C word 3 times.
He said in the suit that he had, quote, lost his ability to be funny in the aftermath of the incident, and that his career has been affected.
So the thing is, it was obviously leaked by a sound man, a producer, a showrunner. Why did they do that? Why didn't they do it in private?
Supposedly, he's looking for about £10 million from the production company for his trouble. Gary Lineker.
Rishi Sunak told the House of Commons that only the Conservatives would stop the boats.
The BBC's highest paid presenter, Lineker found himself in hot water with the corporation in March of this year after making some contentious tweets. He compared the Tory government's policies on migrants to 1930s Germany and was swiftly suspended from Match of the Day.
The BBC says it'll have a frank conversation with Match of the Day presenter Gary Lineker.
But there was an impromptu strike from his fellow presenters, who said that Lineker was at perfect liberty to say what he liked on his personal Twitter account, and it shouldn't violate the BBC's impartiality for its employees have their own opinions.
Well, this morning, Mr. Lineker has been tweeting again, saying he would continue to try and speak up for those poor souls that have no voice.
It was a disaster for the Beeb, which swiftly reinstated Lineker, though it's since revised its rules on what its presenters can and can't say online. The end of Top Gear. Top Gear.
What you've got to remember, Fred, this is a full contact sport.
In November 2023, it was finally confirmed that Top Gear was going to be resting, in the words of the BBC. This came after Freddie Flintoff was involved in another horror crash during filming, one which left him unable to work and led to a £9 million payment in compensation from the Beeb because of this.
There is nothing out there about what happened. There won't be. There's no mole in the organisation.
Production halted immediately, but the future of the show remained in limbo. Top Gear has struggled since the departures of Clarkson, Hammond and May, but people thought it had finally found a new rhythm with Paddy McGuinness, Flintoff and Chris Harris. It's highly likely that Top Gear will return one day, but who knows when or what it will look like.
As long as he's healing, it's great to see him out and about, being passionate about cricket. I'm sad I'm not doing Top Gear with him at the moment, but that's life.
Lawrence Fox.
Free speech is everything, but it comes with responsibility.
GB News was meant to be a broadcaster for those right-leaning people who were tired of mainstream news channels. Actor Lawrence Fox was brought on as a pundit, but then, in October 2023, he became too controversial, even for GB News. He made deeply offensive remarks about journalist Ava Evans that got he and Dan Wootton suspended, with Fox ultimately getting fired outright.
Whether Lawrence should stay on air is not my decision, and Dan's absence tonight is also beyond my control.
Fox was later arrested for conspiring to damage ULEZ cameras, while his fellow GB News pundit Calvin Robinson threatened to walk if Fox wasn't reinstated. They then sacked Robinson too, while Wootton also lost his job at the Mail Online. To some, GB News had then become everything it claimed to stand against.
But the comments made by Lawrence, in my view, were sexist, misogynistic, and unusually, in the frenzied climate of the so-called culture wars, have been condemned across the political spectrum.
Phillip Schofield.
It became more than just a friendship. The relationship, he says, was unwise but not illegal.
Earlier this year, after months of scandal and speculation dating back at least to Qgate, Phillip Schofield left ITV. He released a statement saying that he had had a brief relationship with a much younger male runner on This Morning who he'd actually helped get the job, and that the two had persistently lied to ITV bosses about it ever since.
I did have a consensual on-off relationship with a younger male colleague at This Morning.
He notoriously called the affair, quote, unwise but not illegal, and disappeared from TV completely. Scofield's brother had just been convicted of sex offences, making the situation untenable.
In a statement, Mr. Schofield said he had lied about the relationship to ITV as well as his agents, lawyers and family.
The media storm was outrageous and arguably didn't match what Schofield had done. In hindsight, it all looks a bit out of proportion. Holly Willoughby.
Last night, Holly made what we know will have been a heartbreaking decision to leave This Morning after 14 years.
Another reason for Schofield's departure were the ongoing stories of a rift between him and the Queen of Daytime, Holly Willoughby. Whether this was true ahead of him quitting isn't known, but she made a statement about how shocked she was that Phillip had been lying ahead of her return to This Morning. But then, just a few months later, Holly too quit the show.
Breaking news, and the presenter Holly Willoughby has told ITV that she will not return to host This Morning.
This happened after a man was arrested for conspiring to kidnap and murder her, so it's no wonder that she wanted to step away from the spotlight and take some time for herself.
Holly is on the front pages this morning after police arrested a 36-year-old man over an alleged kidnap plot.
Will This Morning survive? Only time will tell. Hugh Edwards.
We can now reveal he is the unnamed BBC presenter at the heart of the Sun newspaper's allegations.
Shortly after the media frenzy around Phillip Schofield, the Sun published a story that a senior presenter at the BBC had been misbehaving. Allegedly, he had been soliciting inappropriate pictures of a 17-year-old boy, which would be illegal. Crucially, the 17-year-old didn't want the story in the Sun at all. It was his parents who made the decision. Eventually, Edwards' wife Vicky Flynn revealed that Edwards was the man at the heart of the story, and the police investigated.
Hugh is suffering from serious mental health issues, as is well documented. He has been treated for severe depression in recent years.
However, the police found that no crime had taken place, making the entire incident extremely defamatory on the part of the Sun. Edwards was still suspended by the BBC and remains out of the public eye.
Well, we have been trying to ask the Sun some of those questions posed over the last few days, but their response so far has been no comment.
Russell Brand.
Come on! Everyone does it. Don't be afraid of your own sexuality. Do be a bit afraid of mine, though.
A joint exposé from The Times and The Sunday Times and Channel 4 appeared in September 2023, with both a long newspaper investigation and a documentary.
Russell engaged in the behaviours of a groomer. Looking back on it, I didn't even know what that was then or what that looked like.
They talked to multiple women who alleged serious sexual assault at Brand's hands during the height of his fame, including one woman who said she was only 16 when they were in a relationship.
It shouldn't be legal for a 16-year-old to have a relationship with a man in their 30s.
Since then, the broadcasters who hired Brand have opened investigations, and even more alleged victims have come forward. Brand is still under investigation by the Metropolitan Police for these historic offences, which he's consistently denied, and his YouTube channel has since been demonetised.
Obviously, he was the presenter and I was a runner. I wasn't going to tell anyone what he'd done because I didn't want to lose my job.
Let us know in the comments which of these scandals you think had the biggest impact.
This is not the kind of person I want to be around. These are not the kind of comments I want to be subject to.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.